What's going on, guilty guys and gals, and welcome to this! I am joined today by a friend by the name of... Introduce yourself.
Hello everybody, I'm Saturn. It's been a long time since I've been on this channel in any form or fashion. It's good to be back.
It doesn't feel that long. But then I went back and looked at the last time I uploaded a Danganronpa 3 episode, and it was like almost a year ago. And I was like, what?
It's been a very long time since we've done anything. But, I'm ready to be thrown back into more anime. I'm fresh off the heels of Jujutsu Kaisen 0. I literally just got back from the theater. So let's watch a worse anime.
So this might seem a little strange to people who were watching Danganronpa 3 and now we're suddenly doing the first game instead. But I thought, well, we actually recorded episode 5 of the Danganronpa 3 anime, but that didn't actually turn out. Like I can't remember whose audio it was, but one of our audios was not properly recorded or something. So
it was probably mine.
We'd have to do that one again. I don't know. I don't remember. I might have lost it too. It was something like that. Anyway, so now I wanted to do this one because I feel like at that point, Saturn kind of needs to know a little bit of the backstory, or else both Future and Despair are going to be super confusing. So,
to be fair, they were already super confusing.
Well, now hopefully they'll be like slightly less confusing, and you'll be able to at least follow what's happening.
Hey, fair enough.
I've never watched this either. Obviously, I've played the first game, and this is very derivative of the first game, as in it's literally a retelling. But I have never watched this either. I've watched the 3 episodes we're going to do today, because that's what inspired me to want to do this in the first place. But other than that, I haven't seen anything past that. So that's a little exciting for me, too.
Wow, so we're both just diving into this with fresh eyes. I mean, you know way more about this entire series as a whole, but...
Yeah. So yeah, let's do this.
Back into the world of Daddy Romper.
Yes.
What is this art style?
So this pops up a few times, but I'll talk about it at the end of the first episode, because I feel like it's worth just going through the first little thing here without knowing.
This is not how I expected this anime to start, but I'm still on board.
He got bone zoned.
He was taken to the bone zone.
Which is apparently in space, the more you know.
Oh my goodness, I completely forgot that this series is about, talented high schoolers.
This is the funniest thing about Hope's Peak in the actual game, is that it just had weird design choices, like leopard print walls. Why? And then they had mood lighting everywhere.
I mean, I'm not mad about the mood lighting. I got a whole bunch of LEDs up in my room, so I can't rock with all the nuts on the wall. What's that about?
Well, you'll soon find out. This is where the pacing is just blistering, so I'm probably gonna pause after each thing here, but here we go.
Was the guy in a skirt?
I don't know which guy, but I guess we're gonna get introduced to all of them, so you'll be able to tell me. So a few of these, because I think this dub sub is actually based on some fanslation stuff, because there's another thing we'll talk about later. Because in the English release, obviously they're called Ultimates, not super high school level students. But also he was called the Ultimate Clairvoyant. Although Fortune Teller, I think, is way more accurate. But this is our first guy. So, fanzine artist. What kind of fan art do you think he draws?
Definitely furries.
Ooh.
100% furries.
This guy in the English release was called the Ultimate Moral Compass. I don't know why they didn't just stick with Hall Monitor. It's way more accurate.
Hall Monitor.
Yeah. So, Fashion Diva. She was just called Fashionista, I think. But Diva works for her personality, I guess.
Wasn't she in the other one we were watching?
She just, this class of students had just shown up in the academy when we took the break from watching. So, yeah, I think you saw her,
gotcha.
And then Makoto probably they showed Ultimate Programmer. same deal. Oh, that is the one thing I could say. This is the person that I said looks a lot like Gamer Girl, and was one of my reasonings for why I thought Gamer Girl wasn't actually real, or intended that way in the second game.
She does look like Gamer Girl, because Gamer Girl is one of the only characters I actually remember.
Yeah, they do say Celestia. Ludenberg?
Super high school level gambler. This is just a precursor to Kakegurui.
I don't know that anime for sure, but I definitely remember seeing fan art of this character playing against characters from some sort of gambling anime. So it's probably that. She goes by Celeste, and her name is Celestia Ludenberg. I don't know why this is Ludenberg. But
Ludenberg.
I guess that's another residual thing from the translation stuff they were probably pulling from. This one confuses me. So he is the ultimate biker gang leader, not just a biker. I think that's fairly important to know, that he's a criminal.
Is that supposed to be a pompadour?
Yes.
Good try. Good effort.
Baseball player. There's not much to say about this guy, really. Other than that he has an English name.
Yeah, Leon. Good old Leon. He's got a big old clothespin on him.
Swimmer.
She's Michael Phelps, okay.
Yeah, she's one of the 3 characters you might recognize.
I specifically remember her because she's darker skinned than everyone else, and that's just strange in itself to see in anime.
Yeah.
So that's
but
why
this is a way better outfit than a random suit. I'll say that. Anyway.
Is that supposed to be like a barrette in her hair? Because it looks like a belt buckle.
I have no idea. This one also makes no sense to me. Because
this
she's
person
the
looks
ultimate...
like are they wearing a... Oh, this is a girl? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, this is a girl.
Okay.
Sakura. This one makes no sense to me because she's the ultimate fighter in the English localization. Definitely not anything to do with grappling. She's like punches and kicks. It's like karate and stuff like that, right? So
she looks
Grappler
like she's
just
straight out of Baki.
Grappler just doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever.
Literary girl? What the heck?
So her in the localization, she's the ultimate novelist. Essentially, she wrote successful romance novels when she was like 16 or something, and so they admitted her into the school.
That makes it sound like it's an asylum. They admitted her.
I mean, of all the characters who would be admitted, this is probably one of them. But yeah, I don't know what they were going with literary girl. So I definitely
that doesn't really make sense.
Air makes sense.
Byakuya.
Yes, Byakuya.
How are you an ultimate heir? Like, what does that mean? Like, how is that your specialty?
So, I guess
Do you just have rich parents that you're waiting to die?
What it really is without like going into like side content stuff. Basically, he was given like a small loan of $1 million and then grew his own business from there at a young age. So he's basically the ultimate like entrepreneur, you could say, but they didn't obviously say that because they're trying to go away from just giving them actual jobs and trying to make it sound something that a high schooler could actually have. I don't know. It's a little silly. In the localization, he was called the ultimate affluent progeny, so that's even worse.
Oh, that sounds awful.
Yeah.
That sounds like something like a dad would say, trying to make a joke about how, you're their sperm. It's like, oh, you're my most affluent progeny.
And Kyoko. Good old Kyoko.
She is just super high school level punctuation.
Yeah. So this is the other thing I wish they'd kept, which they didn't. This is like my only like major criticism is like this part. Everybody's suspicious of Kyoko originally because she won't tell him what her talent is. And she says she has amnesia and doesn't remember. And they're like, that's silly. You don't have amnesia.
If I woke up in a situation where I was just surrounded by other strangely talented people, I probably wouldn't tell people what I could do either. Like, that's just Tactics 101.
To be fair, though, they don't know they're in a killing game yet. So it is a little weird that she's so suspicious of them. But,
Also, that tie is way too long. So my biggest issue with this intro is that introducing characters like that, like a full roster, is very ineffective like that, because I'm not going to remember any of these characters' names.
No.
Like, it's such an inorganic way to do things.
Mm-hmm. And to be fair, it's the way they did it in the game, so I can't blame them too much. But at least they give you the card. That's all I'm gonna say. Because if they didn't give you the card and they just had it in text that appeared on screen for like 2 seconds, it'd be even worse. This is the last one. This is the super high school level idol.
That one seems the most Japanese.
Yeah, it was localized to pop sensation for English, which they were just trying to not say idol, but that's way more apt. So this is something that really only happens in this part, but I think it's hilarious, where they have like a character cover up another character, because in the game you can only see one sprite at a time. So I think they were trying to emulate that, but it's kind of hilarious. Like when the 3 showed up at first, they did that too. It's like, you don't have to do that.
I guess that also explains all of the close-up shots.
Yeah, a lot of these poses are taken directly from their in-game sprites, which is kind of wild, but hey. There he be.
Is the question mark chick a detective?
I mean, you're not supposed to know that yet, but yes. I think I told you
Okay.
that in the other part anyway, but it's pretty obvious once you get through like the first area. Yes.
You can tell just by her mannerisms. Like they're very Detective Conan. Got him. So in the games, what is the point? Is it just to survive, or find a way to like get everyone out?
So essentially,
Or I
like,
guess kill people.
the stated purpose of like the group is to find a way out without killing people, right? But the actual gameplay of the game is inevitably people kill people, and you have to solve the murder case in order for the rest of the group to survive. He's going to explain it in like 3 seconds, I think. But
Okay.
it might be in the next episode. I don't quite remember. But there's like a whole ordeal you have to go through if somebody dies. So we'll get there. That is one of the funny / intimidating things about Monokuma, is he literally just appears out of thin air all the time, and I have no idea how it happens.
Because anime.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, even if it's a stuffed animal, or a stuffed animal-looking thing, if it just appeared out of nowhere, I'd be pretty scared too. It's like, how did you get in here?
You can already tell the kind of character he is.
Yeah.
And Makoto died. Oh, never mind, he woke up.
And end.
He can't have been that heavy.
Yeah,
They should have made Mondo
like 10
do it.
pounds. His hair looks like it weighs more than him.
True. I love how they make him sit beside him at the meal, too. It's so funny.
Nobody else could have given up their seat so he could feel, safe somewhere else. Like, he's right in striking distance of the guy's elbow, too.
Mm-hmm.
That sharp-ass pompadour could take him out, too. Just put it right through his eye. Oh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
How old are these people supposed to be, do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Somewhere in the range from 16 to 18, I'd assume. Because it's a high school, right? But you have to get scouted to get in, so you have to already be attending high school for you to get in. I'm pretty sure they're all supposed to be around the same age, except Hiro, who got, what is it called? Held back a few times, so he's like 21 or something. But
Oh my goodness.
the rest of them are around the same age, and they're all
Get
like
your life together.
16 to 18. I don't know. It's one of the big mysteries that they just never really tell you.
Oh, is this game being run by a boomer? That's all it's gonna take? That's all it took?
To be fair, they don't know the world has ended yet. So, or at least it hasn't ended yet. So they just think they got locked in the school, and within that time of 3 days, he suddenly got to their families, kidnapped them all, or killed them all. I don't know.
But even if that's the case, if he did get to their families and like kidnap or kill them, how is them getting out going to change that? That makes no sense.
I think
that's not proper motivation.
The reasoning is, or the reasoning in the game anyway, is that they don't know if it's true or not. So they're like the weaker-minded people among them, or the people who have the most to lose, have to go and make sure that everything is still okay, or they can't, like, that thought is hanging over them the whole time.
That's so dumb. Like, not plot-wise, because I get how people could be affected by that. Like, it's dumb to be like that dumb. Like, it's got to be hard to be stupid and just live in the world like that. Like, she's totally lost it.
Uh-huh.
And all it took was a DVD.
You remember that thing I told you about where they count down the students at the end of every section? And how that'd be better for Danganronpa 3? They actually did it. I don't remember if this one has anything post-credits. Other than the fact that this is what the credits look like. No, I don't think it does. It's just Makoto sitting alone in a classroom.
I gotta take a point away from the ending there with the whole 15 students remaining, only because it reminds me of King's Game, and I don't like that. I try to bleach my brain of King's Game. What a terrible show that was.
It's gonna be hard.
But at least I'm at least I'm able to follow this instead of we were watching Despair and whatever the other one was, because there's just stuff happening in those.
There are actual setups and payoffs. It's crazy.
Wow.
But that was the prologue, so we can actually go into chapter 1 now. Rap. How do you feel about that?
It's not the worst rap I've heard in anime, so I can live with it.
I don't
know how I feel about this like sensual dancing from Monokuma. I don't like the way that makes me feel.
What was I going to say now? Right. The original intro and outro they used literally the game music, like the game's intro. A lot of the music in this is literally taken from the game. And then I don't know why they saved this intro for the second part. Like, they're still spoiling stuff for the second part. If that's what they were worried about. I don't know. Oh, right, Mono Bear. I forgot. I was supposed to talk about that. That's the other reason I think this was slightly taken from the translation thing, because Monokuma in the localization is just bear. Monokuma, but the literal translation is Mono Bear. So I don't know. This is the only time I've ever seen that in like quote unquote official sort of thing.
Why didn't they take it a step further and call him Single Bear or One Bear?
One Bear. I'm pretty sure the sword was actually something Sayaka made Makoto take for self-defense in the game. But it almost makes more sense that Monokuma just gave them all weapons. This is what I mean about him showing up anywhere he wants. It's just in Makoto's room.
Dude, I've experienced so many doors that are just like that, where you have to like lift and push because they're not set in the doorway properly.
We talked about Makoto's luck before in the other part where he was like talking to Aoi and he was like, don't worry, my luck will protect us, and this is his luck. So his luck basically just makes his life harder for him, except it also keeps him alive. I love the way Monokuma walks though, actually, because obviously he doesn't do that in the visual novel. This is also why I thought it was so out of character. He would be like, believe in my luck, Aoi. Because he hates that's his talent.
Believe it.
Dun, dun,
There's
dun.
a ghost. Okay, in the background, the Ghostbusters theme starts fading in, but it's super sinister.
He didn't even go under the covers.
If I lay on top of the covers, the cooties can't get me.
Cootie
The
card
monsters
covers.
can. Did he go to sleep with his shoes on?
I
Dude,
guess.
What a heathen.
I really want you to read this line.
It's the work of the Bermuda Triangle.
Good old hero. He's like, I didn't oversleep. I got lost. It's the work of the Bermuda Triangle. And everybody's just like, okay.
I let that bitch stay in my room and she ruined it.
Hope Monokuma's gonna pay for this. I love that this is the third time Makoto's passed out in the last week. Passed out walking into the school, then he passed out when Mondo punched him. Now he's passed out again.
We were gonna play basketball.
Oh, but now our teams will be uneven. Dang. Actually, there's 15 of them, so now the teams are even. Maybe that's why they want to play.
That's why she died, so they could play basketball. That's
Capital
oddly
G Gatling
specific.
guns.
That boss creature from Enter the Gungeon, I think it was called like Gatling Gull or something. You might have to find that and throw it up on screen.
Okay. Among Us? This is just like Among Us.
Sus. That's fun.
So basically, in order to escape, you don't just have to kill someone and get away with it, but you also have to be okay with the rest of the students getting killed for your sake as well.
Fucking fake.
Yeah. Two down already.
Must weigh like 50 pounds. That's a lot of hair.
Even use the sound effect in the game when the investigation starts. And the UI. I don't remember if there's a post-credits to this one either. Oh, but now Sayaka's there, because she died. Also, she's crossed out in the little pixel art, which I think is at least something. Oh, also Junko. I forgot she already died too. But there you go. That's episode 2.
How does this relate to what we've seen in the previous? Like, how is Junko in that one?
Well, that one's set. It's kind of hard to say without spoiling anything, so I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah.
But there's a legitimate reason. They didn't retcon that, at least.
Okay.
But yeah, now we're going to the actual trial, which is all of episode 3.
Oh, man.
They actually give you the UI of the truth bullets.
I always forget about this character.
Maybe if you'd shut up for a second, she'd tell you.
Right. Oh my god, why are you here?
Game UI. Woo!
Dude, Hall Monitor has perfect posture. What does she do again? Like, what is her talent? Goth looking chick?
That's gambler. That's the ultimate gambler.
Right.
So she's good at bluffs or whatever, detecting lies, I suppose.
All he's missing is a neck beard.
I just think, I don't know, that's sort of a fun twist in the game where you're like, oh yeah, she's the anime dream fulfillment character, whatever. She's nice to me just because she's the idol. And then the whole time it's because she was slowly over the course of the days manipulating you into trusting her so she could stab you in the back and get out of here by killing the rest of the students.
That is kind of a cool twist.
Yeah.
It's a nice flip on the anime trope of, oh, the guy's gonna get the girl that he likes or admires. And she's like, nah, I'm trying to frame me for murder, boy. I hope you like sniffing them cooties. Objection.
Yeah, pretty much. Who could it be?
Leon.
That is the other part I like about the trials, is that it allows them to essentially write murders that only the person with the specific talent could do. And you don't really know that until like halfway through. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah, because I never would have just assumed that.
Yeah, like the crystal ball was used to turn on the incinerator from meters away so he could throw the shirt in there and get rid of the evidence. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay, that was funny.
You can tell this is also directly taken from the game. Just a little bit blurry.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he's not wrong.
This is, I don't know why they skipped this, but this is the point in the game where either Byakuya or Kyoko steps in and says, well, you chased her into the bathroom and she locked the door on you. You could have just left.
That's also a fair point.
And then he, freaks out some more. But
I had a feeling it was going to be like a baseball cannon.
Themed. Yep.
And they're all just going to sit here and watch?
I don't think it's really their choice, but yeah.
Oh, that's a brutal way to go.
And there we go. Trial over.
Yeah, that was just straight up a video game cutscene. That's so funny to me. Complete with a fade to black.
Oh, he took his shoes off this time. Good for him.
Because it's his bed. But not Junko.
Yeah, no, I didn't know Junko very well.
Oh, that's kind of a bittersweet joke.
Mm-hmm. And I like that. That's anime original. That whole scene at the end isn't, but Kyoko says it to him like right after Leon gets executed in front of everybody, right? I think it works way better as like she comes to his room like hours later and tells him this. I don't know.
She caught him defenseless. She caught him with his shoes off.
Yeah. His powerful kicks.
That's when he's at his most vulnerable. When he's just in his socks.
So, before we talk about the anime in general and how you're feeling, how do you feel about Makoto in this versus the Danganronpa 3 anime?
Makoto's still my least favorite, but way more enjoyable this time around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's an actual personality there. Granted, that personality was based on him liking Super Idol Girl, but hey, that's something. It's more than we were getting. So,
if I'm being honest, this is honestly more than we got in the game too, because he's the insert character, right? So you don't really see him ever, except in the trials. So it's kind of fun to see how Makoto actually is reacting to this information, other than just through text boxes. So that's pretty fun. Makes it a little bit more enjoyable to watch Makoto go through all this stuff.
Having an actual personality assigned to him and not just...
Yeah, not just, I am super generic. I could be like anyone. Kind of crazy, huh?
Crazy, am I right? Been living next to you for 10 years and you didn't know I was here.
Although it does make his line of, you remember me, more believable, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm impressed about how much they didn't skip out on. Like, they even set up Yasuhiro's crystal ball, and the only thing they really skipped in terms of like what's necessary for the trial was setting up that only one person has the key to the incinerator room, and it was Hifumi, the big anime guy. Mm-hmm. But I guess you don't really need to know that, because the thing is closed and he threw the ball to get it in there. You don't really need to know that only he has the key for it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He baseballed it. Because that's his thing.
His baseball. Yeah. I don't know.
Yes, he's a super baseballer, so of course he had to baseball. with a
A
glass
murder
ball.
only able to be committed by the ultimate baseballer.
Couldn't have been a footballer or a hockey player or a badminton player.
Well, maybe a
someone
hockey player could slap shot a puck through those things and hit the thing. You never know. But yeah, that's the prologue, and then chapter 1, which is Sayaka Maizono dies.
So I'm more engaged this time around than I was with D3 or whatever it was we were watching.
I think part of that is just because there's not as much weird opportunities to make one-liners in this, because it's like the pacing is so fast, you kind of have to keep watching or else you're going to miss something. I feel like that might be one of the reasons, but I mean, that's to its benefit, I guess.
Yeah, and it feels like there's a more cohesive story being told versus just a bunch of random events happening one after the other.
Continuous fight scenes, yes.
Yeah. Because I don't remember which one was which. There's Despair and then...
Future. Future was the one with Makoto, and then Despair was the one with Gamer Girl.
And Despair was weird because, like, why is it called Despair? And it's such a happy-go-lucky show. But also, it seemed like nothing mattered episode after episode. And then Future,
it was
there was
strangely
just a bunch
episodic.
Yeah, and then with Future, when you have no context, none of it makes sense at all. You just kind of have to go with what's given to you.
Like we always said, like, I mean, you've met these characters now. The context, there really isn't any. Other than knowing the Future Foundation exists and that Makoto tried to redeem some evil people, there's really nothing else you have going into that. So, I don't know. It's strange still.
It's a better ride. It's a more enjoyable ride than Future and Despair. So, I'm still on board.
This was, there are 4 more regular chapters and then like the finale. So that means 4 more trials, 4 more executions, 4 more investigations.
Oh, spicy.
To go. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to even answer this one, but who's your favorite character so far?
Who is my favorite character so far? I feel like I haven't spent enough time with most of them to have a favorite character yet. I mean, I like Detective Girl, but that's just because she seems to have the most level head on her shoulders.
And they gave her more to do in this, which is nice. Because like I said before, a lot of times in the games, Kyoko or Byakuya would bring something up and be like, oh, but you know the answer, don't you, Makoto? But I guess they don't have to do that anymore because it's not a video game.
Yeah, they don't have to prompt you. Yeah. I like Sakura, but that's just because Sakura's design is really funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
But right now it's a Detective Girl whose name I will just never internalize.
Kyoko. Kyoko, no. I think when I was playing through the game, at this point, my favorites were Leon.
Womp womp.
And I think it was Aoi. I don't know if that was yet, but I did like Aoi. And the one thing they did leave out about Leon, which is completely, like, you don't need it, is the fact that he actually hates baseball. He's just good at it. He actually wants to be in a band. So...
That would have been really interesting characterization.
Yes. I guess they just didn't have time for it, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, you could have just made it a throwaway line or two. Just make it conversation between him and another character. And that would have made the particular type of death he died, that would have made it even more somber. It's like, wow, he didn't even like baseball. And then he got taken out by baseballs.
That's what the executions are supposed to be, right? It's Monokuma shoving the thing they hate the most at them to kill them, which is why it was baseball for Leon, even though, you know, it's thematic.
Narrative through line.
Whoa! But yeah, that would have been nice.
I was expecting that death to be more, not more bloody, but definitely more visceral. Because like the force and speed of those baseballs, he should have not been looking very human after that.
Which is, I guess, why they shadowed him out, so they didn't have to worry about that. I don't know. But yeah, think that's pretty much it. I think. Unless you got anything else you want to say about the whole experience.
Nope. I think I would actually managed to say everything I wanted to while we were watching. And then the wrap up there touched on everything else. So, I'm good.
All right. Well then, thank you everyone for watching. If you did enjoy, you can leave a like, maybe subscribe, Maybe go over to the description and take a nice look at that link at the top of it. Where could it go? A mystery. Find out. Oh, it's Saturn's channel. Click the subscribe button. Whoa.
Whoa, do it.
Unless...
I need to upload something soon.
Do it or else Monokuma will come to your house or something. I don't know. He'll show up behind you randomly. I'll just be in
my bed. Like, how did you get here? Get out of my house.
And now you all can get out of my house. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.